Hi everyone, this is Sunny from Database Tech. So today I had come up with one more new session on SQL Server Database. In today's session I will explain what is exists and not exists operator. Exists operator is used to test for the existence of any record in a subquery. Now what does that mean? It means this operator checks whether the data is present in the subquery or not. If the data is present in the subquery, this operator returns true. And if the data is not present in the subquery, this operator returns false. So let's understand this in SQL Server practically. This is SQL Server. And now before we start, we need some data. For that, we have a table named customer, in which we have columns like ID, name, father's name, address, gender, and salary. So now let's create a subquery using this table customer to understand exists operator. Okay, so what is the syntax to create subquery? Let's write that. Select star from customer, which is a table name, where ID in. Select ID from customer. Okay, so this is subquery. Now what is subquery? Subquery means query within query. So this part is called inner query. Okay, and this part is called outer query. So if someone will ask you, okay, what executes first in subquery? Inner query executes first. So first we will get the output from the inner query, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the data from ID column. And then what happened here, this outer query will fetch everything from the customer where ID is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because we had used in here. It will check all the IDs with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and then accordingly it will fetch the data from table customer. Okay, so let's execute this query. So you can see we have the below output where we get everything from this table customer. So this is subquery. Now let's understand how we can use exists operator in subquery. So let's create one more subquery. Select star from customer where exists. Select star from customer. Okay, so there's a spelling mistake here, so we will change it. Now this is the subquery once again, and here the difference here is between these two subqueries is in the second subquery we are using exists operator that we had not used here. And now what is the difference here? This operator checks whether the data is present in the inner query or not. If the data is present in the inner query, this exists operator returns true. And if it is returning true, we get the data from outer query. Okay, so let's check that. So we get the data from this customer table because we have the data from inner query. Okay, and there's one more difference here. The inner query will not impact to the outer query because the exists operator checks only whether data is present or not in the inner query, and then it gives the data from this outer query. If you change here like select ID, so when you execute this you get the same output. You can see you get the same output from this query even though we have changed the inner query here. But here if you like see here when you execute the same, you get when you execute select id from customer where name equal to Sunny. Okay, so let me show you the difference between these two. And then if we copy the same here in exists operator, so let's copy the same here in exists operator. Okay, so we have now same thing in both the queries, but the only difference here is the second one is we are using exists operator. Now check the output here. So you can see we get only one row, but now when we execute the same here, we get everything from the customer table. So now you have understood the difference here. Exists operator checks only whether data is present or not. It will not impact the outer query. Okay, so we get everything from the outer query if we are getting true here. So that is the purpose of exists operator. It only checks whether data is present or not. And now if I change here, like I will give FFF. If you see from the customer table, we don't have FFF here with the name like FFF. Okay. Now what will happen in this case is this exists operator returns false. With that, if now you will execute the same query, you will get nothing because this is returning false. Even though we had the output from this customer, but it will not return anything because it's mandatory here. Like if you want to return the data from this outer part in exists operator, it's mandatory to have the data in this inner part, which we don't have right now. Okay, so that's why it's not giving us anything. So that is exists operator. Now we will check for there's one more operator which is not exists operator. Not exists operator. The not exists operator is used to check if subquery returns no result. So let's understand that practically. Now if we change here not exists, the only difference, let's copy this, we'll create the same, will not change here, we'll keep it as exists, and here what we are doing, we are changing exists to not exists. Only that difference here is between these two subqueries. The rest is same. When we execute the statement here, we get nothing. But here in not exists, it will not exists returns true when there is no data in the inner query. So do we have data here? No. At that time, this not exists returns true. So we get the data from outer part. Okay, so if we execute this here, it will give us all the data from customer table, as you can see below. But if you check, if you make it like Sunny, and Sunny is existing, so we are getting data from inner query, we are getting 1, it means this will return false. And if it is returning false, we will not get anything if we are using not exists operator. So that is the difference between two, exists and not exists operator. Now you will be thinking like, when can we use these operators? Let me give you one more example so that you can understand this in a better way. Now suppose if, let me first write a query, then I will make you understand like what is the purpose. If exists select star from customer. Okay, now what is the requirement here, then you will understand this. Now if you have, you want like if there is data present in the table, and then only you want to insert the data in another table. Okay, or if there is data present in some ID, and then only you want to insert some data in another table or in the same table. So for that purpose we can use exists operator. So let's understand one example, like if exists. So what we are checking here, if we have data in this customer table, then we will update. Okay, update customer set. So let's first check the data. Set name equal to, we can make it name equal to Yogesh, where ID equal to 2. Okay, and then you can end this. Else select star from customer where, or we can do one more update, or you can do anything. You will change where ID equal to 3. So here we can use exists operator. Like here we had used only one query, but there can be multiple number of queries. There can be a huge number of queries. And now if we don't use the exists operator, our compiler will go, it will check everything. Okay, but we don't want the compiler to check everything if the condition is not satisfying here. So with this exists operator, like if we don't have data present in the customer table, then why do we update the data here? So what we want here is, like if there is data, then only it will update. Otherwise we will return select star from customer. Okay, so if there is data present in the customer, then only update. But here I am just showing you the example here with the update only. But there can be multiple queries, there can be multiple conditions, which from where we can like insert, we can do the update, we can delete. But for that, the data should be present in the table. And if there is no data present in the table, then it doesn't make any sense to change the data. So here we can use the exists operator. Now if there is no data, we will update. So it will not update, might be it will throw error like there is no data. Okay, or if we insert, it can throw error like there is no data to insert. Then what we insert, like if you have to insert the data from customer to another table, so you are creating a temporary table here or some other things, then it will not work. So for that it is required, like if we have data in the customer table, then only the compiler will go here in the begin clause. Otherwise this compiler will go to the else part and it will fetch the data from customer. Okay, so now you have understood like where we can use the exists operator. Here let's execute this first and then I will show you. So you can see we have the data in this customer table. So our compiler has went here and it has updated the data. It has set the name as Yogesh where ID is 2. So let's check that whether it has worked as expected or not. So you can see the name has been changed to Yogesh where ID was 2. So it's working as expected. Now if I'll set like, okay, select star from customer where ID equal to 33. So do we have the ID with 33? No, we have ID only till 6. So when we execute this again, we get the data from customer. Okay, you can see we get the data from customer. It has not updated this. So the compiler didn't go here, and it improves the performance as well, because we doesn't need to go here to update anything or to delete or some other queries that we can write here. Okay, so that is the purpose, like how we can use exists and not exists operator. Similarly you can use here not exists as well. So that was it for today's session. I hope you have understood. In case not, You can share your comments and provide your feedback so that I can reply back. And if you like today's session, you can please subscribe my channel so that I can post more sessions on same. With this, let us wrap up the session for today. We'll come up with the next session shortly. Till then, have a nice day. Bye bye. Be healthy and be strong. Be safe.